You're crazy.
Oh, wait a minute.
Welcome everybody to Catfish Weekly along with Lyle. And the Chad is in here with us. We got a great guest tonight, Chad. Bob Britt's going to join us from Bobcats Outdoors. I didn't get any tournament results today.
None?
I was shocked.
Wow.
But that's okay. That just
Maybe next time.
that gives us more time with our guest.
That's right.
That's right. How you doing tonight, Bob?
Good. How are you?
Not too bad for an old guy.
Yeah, I hear you.
I do have an announcement, I guess, of sorts. For those of you that don't know, Chrissy Brown's not feeling very well. So please keep her thoughts and prayers to feel better. Nicely, and she deserves to feel better. I mean, after all, some people in chat to the show tonight.
I would love to do that.
Awesome.
I got the list of participants up here right now, Lyle. We've got Angler of the Ville, Big Skip Fishing, Bobcat Outdoors, Brian B. going down this coming weekend catfishing.
Heck yeah.
We got Bugman 22, Cat Life Outdoors, Chris Everett, Chrissy Brown, Cindy Stokes. What's going on, Mama? We got Bobcat Outdoors and Avid Fisherman just popped in. We got Creole Catfishing, Danny Stone Outdoors, Fishing with Big Mike, Fly Guru Chronicles, Freddy's Outdoor Adventures, Gene Tillman. Excuse me. My beautiful and wonderful wife, get hooked on deep fishing. We got Bumpin' Mike Greenwell, Hillbilly Hippie, Michelle from It's All Mine, Jason Lamb, Jay Fox Hunter, Joe Buck 66, John Patrick Jr., Joey Stewart, Calvin from K&B Anglers, Lance McCoo Guy, LG Bass, Look Lady, Mad Catter Catfishing, Merrimack Cats, Mid 10, Hog Catcher 214. Woo! Trying to trip me up there. We got Mike Hawk, Mike Irvin, Mr. Kitty Whiskers, Muskrat Adventures, Northeast Kansas Fisherman, Patriot Catfishers of America, Pontoon Jody Catfishing, Ram Diaz, Rams Bait and Tackle, San Antonio, Texas, Real and Virtual Outdoors, Ryan Borch, Blue Collar Life, Scott Swift, Sean Abney, Sherman Tomlinson, Silver Fox Fishing Sandy, Surfins Catfishing, Stonefly 71, Twisted Fishing TV, Matt from Wannabe Outdoors, and Whisker Dreams. I'm going to scroll up here real quick, Lyle, and see who I missed.
All right. I would like to say I forgot to tell everybody that Mark will not be live tonight. He is feeling under the weather, so also please keep him in your thoughts and prayers.
Yes.
It's very bad when somebody doesn't feel good, but for Mark to miss a show, he's pretty sick, I would guess.
Yeah,
because he's pretty dedicated, and we want him to get to feeling better.
I would agree, and Mark, because I love you, brother. I hope your case of wussitis heals up very quickly, and that you're back at it before long, my friend. We've got Quiet Man Curtis.
Yeah, just say it live.
Jelly Jason Lamb. Now, say hi to Hillbilly Hippie. I think I did. Yes. Gene Tillman.
I would like to say to Freddie.
I think it's it.
Freddie, you won my reel.
No, do we even got to talk about
Not
it?
my reel, but Freddie, I want you to know, with all my heart, nobody deserves that more than you. Even though I wanted it real bad, and I bid up high on it. Chad, if you'd have told me, I wouldn't have bid so high. It wouldn't have cost whoever bought it so much money.
I'll be honest. I went in towards the end and made a bid myself, and I wasn't touching the final bid, so I was like, I'm done. I ain't even trying.
Yeah, it was that's way cool to give that to Freddie. Well, man's retired military and served our country. And I know in my heart he done a bang-up job, and nobody deserves it more than him. And I'm very happy for him. I want it pretty bad.
I wanted, you can ask D, I've been looking for that reel for probably 4 to 6 months. When it was
online, if you want it.
It was presented to me as a giveaway, and I told David, who I seen in here, Carolina Catfish, I said, man, I don't know if I can give this away. But the right thing to do is to put it up for what we said it was for, and at the end of the day, somebody won it, and their message was wanting to give it away, and we suggested, that about a veteran, and
I agree.
they did it. So
I think people forget how important our veterans are to us. I never forget. I go up to them at tables when we're in restaurants, and I shake their hands and tell them how proud of them I am. People I've never seen before, and uh, they're very important to me. My dad was a military. My Cindy's dad was military. Both our sons was in the military, so um, it's really, really important to me. And to know someone like Freddie, and to know him like you do, especially, and how I feel that I do, we know how important he was to what he done, and um,
well,
nobody deserves it more than a person like Freddie. And the fact that Freddie won it just makes it that much better.
I agree. And even though he put a whooping on us all down at Wiley, and I even tried to talk the person that won it out to giving it to another veteran, at the end of the day, just messing. I did not do that at all.
No, you did.
Honestly, to know what somebody spent on that to give that to a veteran, that you know where their heart is and was to give it to a person like that, right? So it's awesome to see.
Vanessa Kitty retired United States Air Force. Two of my sisters retired military as well. Thank you so much for your service.
Absolutely. Thank you, Vanessa.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna make Freddie cry.
It probably will.
I've got a few pictures that there may be some tears on there.
I have one sitting over here that brought tears to my eyes, so I know exactly how he feels, because I was kind of pissed off that I didn't win that one. It just got to, it was kind of above my pay grade. You know what I mean? And,
yeah, we do.
And then you do. And then Dockery and Rob showed up at my house with it during a show one night. So I know how Freddie feels. And I was never so humbled in my life as I was that night. So
it's amazing how something just like a real,
just seen another,
tell everybody what people are thinking about them.
I'm not trying to miss any of these, so if I miss one, don't get mad at me, because the chat's really flying tonight. Fly Guru Chronicles, Marine Corps all day. Hoorah. Thank you, sir. Thank
I will allow anybody that wants to be mad at Lyle, go ahead. Just don't be mad at me. I'm the good one.
There's two stands. Congrats, Freddie, and awesome job, Chad, trying to everyone that donated. I agree, Stan. That it was a great show. It really was.
Yep.
I don't want to miss anybody, but
I've seen a few more people pop in while you're looking through the chats. We got Crappie Dave Fish on. We got Kevin from Palmetto Cats. Stephen Corley's Mississippi Life. Justin Fish and Fetish. That's Scott Swift. There we go.
Justin says you mean my reel. No.
He would have bass line on.
He probably
he'd be bass fishing with it.
I've got a bid on one that I'm pretty sure I can get.
Send me the link so I can look at it later.
Okay, remind me or I'll forget. But yeah, I will.
What's up, Mike? Bumping Mike.
Chief, no one deserves it more than such a great person such as you, Freddie. Way to go. Come together, everyone, and make it happen. Matt being former military also.
Yes, sir.
And we appreciate everything that he has done. And I've met Matt, and he's a super nice guy.
Yeah, he was on live earlier showing the fishing rod holder that you had done for the military giveaway a while back that Mad Cutter had built last year at Mendota this time. So
I love that thing.
It was awesome.
I think that if Richard builds another one, I would just buy it from him. I have spare rods, believe it or not.
I can't imagine if Richard. I think he was in here. You've got about a week and a half to get one built for Lyle to buy. From what I heard, he'll pay any price because he's got that Lyle.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that. Wouldn't say that. Bob, how you doing tonight?
Good, buddy. Good. Thank you for asking. Doing great.
Oh man, you've been on the fish here lately, and I really enjoyed watching the video of you and your daughter the other night.
Yeah, we had a ball. Anytime I get to fish with either one of my daughters is a blessing. That's for sure. They stay so busy that they just don't have time to fish with Dad anymore.
Well, can I ask the age of your daughters?
I have an 18-year-old and Anna's 13.
18 and a 13, yeah.
Yep.
So the 18, she's really busy, and the 13's on her way to being a full-blown adult, and then she'd be real busy too.
Yep. Yeah, my 18-year-old, she's in college at UTC, and she's a music major. Awesome. And she works part-time too, so she stays pretty busy.
Welcome, Richard. Glad to see you in here tonight.
But yeah, I enjoyed. I got to come in for a little bit and to see her captain of the boat and telling Dad what was going on and what to do made me proud.
Absolutely.
Yeah, she can drive a boat. It's always good to have a spare driver on the boat.
Heck yeah.
She likes driving the boat.
You know, I've always had a motto that if you're in the boat and you're of any age at all, you should know how to drive a boat because something could happen to the guy driving.
Absolutely.
And everybody needs to know how to get that boat back if something would go wrong, because you don't know from 1 minute to the next if you're going to be here or not. And I try to get my kids to drive the boat. Cindy can drive the boat. That's one of the first things I ask somebody when they go with us. Can you drive a boat if something happens? And some people say no, and we go through a little quickie to try to teach them how to do it, and just in case.
Yep. Well, I fish alone an awful lot too, and it's nice to have someone else in the boat that can drive the boat while you're up there prepping things, cutting bait, getting cameras put out. If you're a fishing YouTuber, you know how much of a pain in the butt it is to get all the cameras ready and make sure the batteries are up to, they're plugged in and yada yada. So it's nice just to have somebody to drive while I set the boat up.
I agree.
Because when I get on the water, I just want to fish. But you got to do all that other stuff first.
You do. And if you're anchored, you got to put the anchor out or drag it in. It doesn't matter. There's just a whole list of stuff you have to do. And I'm very fortunate. Cindy's very helpful to me when we're doing that stuff. Sometimes overly helpful because she don't want me doing things. But there's just some things a guy's got to do, like throwing a cast net. She wants to throw a cast. She even bought a cast net. And I don't want her throwing a cast net. I just don't feel comfortable with that. I don't want her throwing the anchor out. I don't want her pulling it up. Even though I got two bad shoulders, I feel like I'm the man. I'm supposed to pull that anchor. But sometimes it just gets hurting so bad you just can't do it.
Not me. When Dee wants to grab the trolling motor or the anchor, she says she wants to catch bait. I'm like, I love you.
Yeah. Joey,
you're right, girl.
Awesome.
I hate throwing that anchor, but I don't mind throwing that trolling motor and clicking spot lock one bit.
Right.
I had an issue with my Charova when you push the lever down to pull it up. One side won't unlatch. I have to get in there with a screwdriver, and I sprayed the crap out of that with everything I can think of. But I gotta get that fixed because one of these days a wave's going to hit that when I'm prying that thing back, and I'm going to end up in the drink.
Yeah, that's not good.
John Patrick Jr., you're an old man, Lyle. You are correct. You are correct. Hey, there's the weekend angler.
Oh, there's
Josh. Good to see Josh. And Josh is going to be doing a show with us one of these days here in the near future, Chadwick.
Thanks for the warning.
Yeah, he kind of disappeared after he lost his phone in the water.
Yeah, but Bob, did you see where he got it back?
He got it back. That was crazy and awesome.
Yeah. So there's been some comparison going on between him and I because we both lost our phones same day. Blah blah blah. Everybody's like, "Why couldn't you get yours?" Josh got his. Josh lost his in 2.5 feet of water maybe 3, and it took him like 10 days to get it back.
Yeah.
But he went right to it.
He was smart. He put it on.
I could have reached over and grabbed it if it was in 3 feet of water. Lyle, I mean, literally, you were have only been up to your chin in the water to grab it. That's all it would have taken. You could have just reached down to your feet and got it.
Bob, that's how you get away with that.
Yeah, get him out of here.
I learned that trick from Mark.
Yeah, Mark needs to quit teaching you stuff.
He does. But Chad and Mark get on me when I share screens because every once in a while there's something on there besides what I'm trying to show, and it shows up and people don't want to see it. Well, it didn't bother me, but it bothers him. So I got to
anyway
quit sharing stuff, but sometimes it's just too good not to.
Yeah.
Catfish Grande.
Hello, Catfish Grande.
Collection of IQ of this show just went up 80 points.
Oh, thank you. Oh, when you turn the chat off?
when I deleted Chad from the stream.
One day I'll be loved.
Oh,
maybe after this Saturday when the bait shop whoops up on no script. I'm starting to see this clown here and Brian B in chat trying to drop that no script stuff. I'm gonna find him out.
That team no script in there.
Yeah, I see him.
That's going to be Saturday morning. Is that correct?
Saturday evening.
Saturday evening. It's an all-nighter?
It is 6 p.m. to 11.
That'll be fun. That'll give me something to do after I go have all-you-can-eat shrimp.
Yeah. I think they're already trying to set me up to fail because they all know that by 9 o'clock I'm ready for bed. So that last 2 hours they can take advantage of me sleeping.
Hey Stephanie, I seen you guys load a video of bluegills you caught. They are awesome.
See, look, there's some love. I see Mr. Patriot James and Calvin and Two Stands who was sticking up for me.
Did I mention KMB Anglers is also going to be a guest on Catfish Weekly in the upcoming week?
Good. You got to start running these guests by me before we schedule them.
We're going to have some fun with Kevin, I promise. Bob, what got you into videotaping your fishing trips?
Yep.
Oh, man. I've always kind of been into I used to be into whitewater, paddling whitewater, and I shot a lot of filming back in the 90s when we were running a lot of whitewater. So,
oh yeah, what kind of kayak did you have?
I didn't have a kayak, Chad. I was a whitewater canoeist.
I love you, buddy. I'll do that for you.
Get rid of him again.
Yeah, I need to give you that button.
No, we all know that you are the Olympic style canoeist.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
close enough. But yeah, we have videoed a lot of our whitewater adventures back then. Matter of fact, I think I still have some on like Vimeo. If you go to Vimeo, I don't think anybody uses that anymore. But so just filming. I started watching YouTubers fishing. Of course, one of the first ones I started watching was Steve Douglas, and then found other people through him, and the whole catfish scene kind of was taking off at that time. So I thought, so I'll throw my hat in the ring and start filming some of my catfishing adventures. I learned a lot from YouTubers just watching them catfish. So,
fishing and stuff is in chat.
I was just talking about you. I got my phone finally, Keith.
Oh, Keith, fishing stuff.
Yeah, well, I was asking him to DIY a cell phone grabber, but it's got to be at least 40 feet long for him to go find the one that I lost. So it's going to take him a lot of material.
I feel like you've done well when Keith makes it in your chat.
You have.
He's as good as it gets, folks.
he is.
If you haven't checked out Fishing and Stuff's YouTube channel, please do so. I promise you, you'll be thoroughly entertained, and you're probably going to learn something.
Yep. When we were at CatCon, he had on one of those little neck things with your GoPro, and I was talking to him, and I thought, man, that's cool. And I went and got me one, and I'll tell you what, it is cool. I used it a couple times since I bought it, and it's a lot better than wearing that strap on your chest like it's wearing a man bra or something.
I can't do the straps.
I haven't tried that yet, but I have I got to do this. I got a request for this. So hang on, bear with me, Bob.
Do it.
Wow.
I got this in the mail the other day in an unmarked envelope.
No idea where it's from?
I'm not 100% sure. I have an idea, but
no postmark?
No postmark.
Wow.
So I don't know if they just drove by and dropped it in the mailbox or.
Are we supposed to interpret that?
What's that?
Are we supposed to interpret that?
Yeah, it's a school bus running over a Pooh Bear.
Yeah, I think that might be Creole running over Freddie, maybe.
Maybe.
Poor Freddie.
Oh, I found it extremely entertaining.
Oh, you got Creole going now.
Oh well,
he's loving it.
There's nothing wrong. Oh, I'm sorry.
You're fine.
Wrong with that.
No, but look.
Sorry, Freddie. It was requested in chat.
Hey, Freddie. All you have to do, Freddie, is send a picture to Lyle Stokes of your new reel. That's all you got to do.
Yeah, that'll do it.
He said, "I love you, Freddie."
That's right. Me too. And I thought I'd done a really nice job building him up for that early on in the show.
Oh my.
Poor Freddie.
Yeah, poor Freddie. It's all in fun. He surely knows that.
Oh yeah. So Bob, you're around Chattanooga, right?
Yep, I live right in Chattanooga, just right outside of Chattanooga. I'm about 7 minutes from 3 boat ramps, so.
Well, that's got to be horrible.
It is. It's terrible.
I feel sorry for you.
Yeah. The worst part of it is I keep my boat at the shop, and I have to sit there and look at it every time I go outside. I really want to go fishing.
I'd be taking long lunch breaks.
Is this the same shop you make all the nice decals out of?
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. That's where I make my T-shirts and decals and stuff.
Well, I have seen your work. It is very nice. I think that you probably made these that I have on my desk that downtown Ernie Brown and uptown Chrissy Brown sent me.
No, I didn't make those.
They're very nice. They look like some of your work, so I thought maybe it was. But I've seen a lot of the decals that you make, and they are beautiful. And some of the T-shirts I've seen, people told me that you designed for them, and they are also very nice. So if someone is needing decal work or T-shirts made, can you tell them how they can get a hold of you?
You can email me at easiest way is to email me at bobcatoutdoors365@gmail.com. And just be patient with me. I'm so busy right now with schoolwork. I print a lot for schools, elementary, middle school, high schools, and they're buying shirts right now, and they got me just slammed.
I think we need some Catfish Weekly T-shirts.
Sure.
I've been trying to talk to you about that.
What's that?
I've been trying to tell you that.
We need some Catfish Weekly hats, too.
I've been trying to tell you that.
So when you get caught up a little bit and you get a little time,
oh, yeah, absolutely.
What you can do, let me know. I would much rather you have the money than somebody I don't know.
I appreciate that.
Absolutely. And we've seen some of the work that Bobcat has done. He has got some skills. If you look at LG Bass, for example,
yes,
that was phenomenal.
Yeah.
We need a swimming cell phone sticker.
All right. Now this is about Bobcat, not me.
Looky here. What do we got there?
Oh, that's Miss Oreo. She bugging her daddy. She wants to be petted.
I understand. I have a lab that's like that.
Say, She's a good girl.
I'll take a Catfish Weekly T-shirt seriously. I will let you know when we get them in there, my friend.
There you go.
But you don't want to be on Catfish Weekly, huh? Don't be on Catfish Weekly.
Jesse Brown says Bobcat has some awesome products. I agree, 100%.
I would agree.
Yeah, it's cool to have a job where you make stuff.
It is. It is.
I enjoy the creative.
To have the skills like you have to be able to do it.
Yeah, I enjoy the creative part of it. The difficult part is all the back and forth before you actually produce a product.
I'm sure that's right.
That's what I thought interesting because, I got to hang out with you down at CatCon.
Yeah.
And we had some conversations about that.
You stole my chair.
Well, I don't know if I would consider it stole. I mean, I basically walked up and it was unoccupied, so I sat in it. And okay, I can see where you're coming from, where I stole it.
Right.
But you did say when you walked up because you didn't know who I was at the time, and you were like, "Whoa, you're a big fella. You can just go ahead and keep on sitting there."
I know who. Nobody there didn't know who you were, Chad. Come on.
That's right.
I'm not that noticeable of who I was.
Yeah, come on.
But no, I thought it was very interesting, and some of the things that you pointed out that your thought method of what a logo should be for somebody versus what somebody like me who has no idea what I'm doing. I was thinking I want this, 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 and this,
Right.
when in reality I should have been focusing on what? You want to fill them in a little bit there? Just kind of give them something to think about there.
Oh, well, what I was talking to you about CatCon was about, marketing your channel. Basically that's your brand. So, you kind of want things to be applicable to your channel.
Yeah.
What it's about. But also you want to, when I'm designing logos, I try to, I know y'all see how tiny the avatars are on YouTube. You want the avatar to, even when it's real tiny, to be noticeable. And, just stand out from everybody else because that's essentially what you're trying to do.
Yeah.
You're trying to sell yourself or your brand, to get more subscribers. Phone lives matter.
Cell phone lives matter. Creel says you did an awesome job on his decals.
Yeah, I enjoyed doing Creels. It was a little bit of a challenge, but
Kevin agrees getting the final product with the customer can be tough at times.
yeah, there's a whole lot of back and forth that's irritating and aggravating, but a part of the process. After years of doing it, you kind of get used to it, but
yeah.
But I do enjoy the creative side of it, and you have to detach yourself from it because often your vision of what something should be is not necessarily what the customer wants, even though it's a better vision.
Right.
But you have to be willing to compromise and bite your lips sometimes and go, "Yes, sir." Well, no, sir. Your money, what you want.
Whatever you say, sir.
But
That's
I do
right.
I have a lot of people that just give me, so you just run with it. They tell me what they want. And like Tom's decal, Tom's logo, Michelle pretty much told me what all she wanted in it. And then I added a few extras to it because I was like, well, she didn't say anything about a dock, but he fishes on the dock is the main character. You got to put the dock in there.
Well,
Right.
wait a minute.
So I threw the dock in there. It also gave the bass something to stand on and while he's picking up a catfish.
So you made Tom decals, but Michelle designed or approved them.
Yeah, she was the mastermind behind it.
That makes all the sense in the world.
Well, Lyle, you got to remember, Lyle, at the end of the day, it's all hers.
That's
exactly right.
Thank you, Michelle.
Oh, needs a reorder. That's what you like to hear right there.
Oh yeah.
Return customers. Nothing better.
Yeah, it was all her idea.
Michelle, I have not met Michelle, but I cannot wait. Anybody that can cook like that, I adore.
Oh, yeah.
She is one of I've met a lot of great people and very sweet people. We talked about Miss Chrissy earlier. But Miss Michelle is just the same. She is going to be one of the sweetest people that you have met.
That's my favorite kind. And Jody, thank you so much for that. And if you do like our content and what we're doing, please give us a thumbs up. And if you like the guests that we're having, the way we keep having these great guests is new subscribers. So go ahead and hit the subscribe button. We appreciate it so much. It gets our name a little higher up on the list of the page when people do searches for catfish and stuff.
And Lyle, just so you know, I'm also putting a team together in my mind. I've got it's kind of like putting a band together. I've got Miss Chrissy Brown on taters. Michelle, I got Miss Michelle making. I can't even pronounce the fancy stuff that she made us down there still. So I'm just from Kentucky, guys. So
did you see the cinnamon rolls that I had last night? And again, the breakfast.
I've got Miss Cindy on dessert.
I'm gonna have to mute y'all because I'm still on the diet.
Them cinnamon rolls was knocked out of the park. My gosh, they was good.
Scallopini. Thank you, Miss Michelle.
Oh, here's a factoid. Jody says that Bobcat is 955 subs.
Yeah, I'm hung there.
He is 45 away from the coveted 1,000 that YouTube requires everybody to have to get the perks that they offer. So if you're not subscribed to Bob's channel, please go over there and sub him. And while you're there, listen to a little bit of a video. I'm sure you'll enjoy it. I enjoy all of them. I'm watching all of them as far as I know. And give him a like on a couple of them because you will like them, I promise. They're very entertaining.
I tried that 1-800 rent-a-sub, and my credit card got denied.
I thought them was 900 numbers.
They might be.
Where they charge you.
I just wanted everybody to know that I did just get a message from Mark. He is watching, but he doesn't want to chat with you all. Right. He's not even going to say hi. I just want to let everybody know that.
Noted.
It's because it's that case of wussitis that he's got. He doesn't feel like he can say hi and keep up with all you great people.
Mirmac Cat says, my wife is a graphic designer. I have heard some of the horror stories. I'm sure that's right.
Yeah.
There's a friend of yours right there, Daryl with Trophy Seeker Outdoors. Please do go hook set Bob. He is so close, and that is a fact.
Yeah. I highly recommend Mr. Bobcat. He is an amazing angler and fun to watch. Very, very, very good personality. I think you'll be very happy with that sub if you go there and give him a chance.
I agree.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. You made me cry.
Well, that's our goal. We've already got Freddie crying. We've got you crying.
I got to tell you, I watch all your videos. If a notification comes up, I go watch them. I usually do them videos first thing in the mornings.
Right.
So depends on what time of the day that they come out, because it takes me a little while to get rolling in the morning. So videos and Lee Evans and Downtown Ernie Brown, people like that get me kick-started in the morning so I can go ahead and get rolling. There's Chris from Hooks and Hammocks that joined us.
What's up, Chris?
But, that gets me rolling, and I go watch all them. And like I say, the one that you done the other night with your daughter, I really enjoyed that.
Hi, Mark.
I think that was
that was her first time bumping, and she did really good.
She picked up on it pretty quick. Some people pick up on that really fast, and some people don't. Now, that's another subject that I had planned on visiting with you about.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that bump. There's a lot of people that think they can bump and really don't know anything about it. But you picked that up, and you're very knowledgeable about it. You don't drag your bait or your sinkers along the bottom of it and stir up all that mud around your bait like a lot of them do, and they can't figure that out. But you do a lot of bumping.
Yeah.
I want to ask you what the average speed of the Tennessee River is down there where you do that.
Right where I'm doing it at is, right at the discharge of the dam. So, like, when you run all the way up to the mushroom through where the turbines are emptying out, you're at three and a half miles an hour. I mean, but it tapers down as you get further away from the turbines.
Yeah.
And it's just a short section right now because the flows, between 10 and 20,000, and you really can't do it much further than where I've been bumping until they give us some more flow. I mean, when they've got 30, 40, 50,000 CFS, I've got a lot more places where I can bump on the river. But right now, you just run out of current. So what are you barking at?
Well, and two, they've got everything coming through that dam, and that is a food source for everything that eats fish, which is everything in the river. So they all go up there to those dams.
Oh, yeah.
Waiting for the bait to come through there so they can scarf it up. So anywhere below that you're at, you're right in their wheelhouse.
Yep. Thank you, Keith.
Yep, you've made it now. Keith,
yeah, it's funny, Lyle. Actually, I learned last summer up there that when everybody gets home from work and starts turning on their air conditioners and start turning the ovens on and cooking and stuff, they'll kick those turbines on and to increase the flow rate. So I believe those fish are conditioned to go up there and sit and wait for those turbines to kick up.
I'll tell you what, that reminds me of someone that has a deer feeder out in their field. Those fish or deer get conditioned at 6 o'clock. That's kicking on. It's going to toss that corn out, and they come running up through there the minute it happens. And the fish are the same way. As soon as that current flow picks up, they know it's time to eat, and they go right up there, and you can have your way with them. And I started bumping back years ago when there wasn't a handful of people in the United States doing it, and the people that did do it, they wasn't letting that secret out because it worked too well. We wasn't going to share technique. We was in tournaments. Nobody else knew what the hell we was doing, and we wasn't telling anybody. Ryan Casey and Jason Mathena and Jason Jackson. There was a very few people. Tony, I can't think of his last name, but him and I got to doing it one day, and the next thing you know, we was all pounding fish, and nobody else was catching anybody, and we wasn't telling nobody.
Yeah,
I
can see that.
Yeah, and then pretty soon the word started getting out. But when we started bumping, them guys at Kansas City, they didn't know what the hell we was doing. The guys in Memphis, they had no idea what we was doing. And we wasn't letting them know.
Yeah.
Just wasn't.
Yeah, I can see that. I mean, it's a deadly technique. I think, you're taking the bait to the fish, and
that's right.
And, I believe in common sense fishing, and if it makes sense that I know that those fish are not going to just sit out there and swim in dead current, so I know that those fish are hiding behind rocks, and at the base of our dam, it's really rocky and craggy. I mean, it's up and down. I mean, like really, there's ditches and trenches and little hills and mountains, so they're in behind those.
Sure.
And if you're just throwing a bait out there and waiting on them to come out from behind a rock to go get your bait, unless you throw it right in front of them, I mean, they smell it and come out to investigate. But when you're bumping, you're taking it to them and putting it right in front of them. If they're behind that rock and they see it and they smell it, they're going to hit it.
It's like legal road hunting.
Yeah.
You drive down the road, you'll see more rabbits out the window of your truck than you ever will walking through a field, although it's illegal to shoot those. Yeah. But bumping is a legal way to road hunt fish. Mm-hmm. That's the best way I can explain it.
That's a good
analogy. We have Mr. Pig Fishing in our chat. I'm trying to get him on our show, Chad. If you guys haven't seen his videos, you need to go check them out. He does a bang-up job. I enjoy him so much.
But yeah, my personal best actually is 73 pounds, and it was I think it was a Friday afternoon. I went up to the dam, and I was actually it was so low flow that there wasn't enough flow there to bump it. I just anchored up kind of in between the two turbines that were running and threw baits out. I was spot locked and threw baits out, and as soon as that second turbine come on, I hooked up and with the fish of a lifetime on there. I hadn't been there 10 minutes. And actually, while I was fighting that fish, the 73 pounder, another rod went off in the back of the boat and I couldn't do nothing about it.
Bob, I want to ask you a question. When you said you was getting between the locks on the dam, I consider
between the turbines, actually, Lyle.
well, it would work the same though.
Yeah.
When there's two locks or two turbines that are going, you got current here, and it's a dead spot right there. That's like a highway for them fish to go back and forth on that dam, and they can run up there and get them something to eat and then float back down. And it's easier swimming between those turbines and between them locks when they go up to the dam.
Yep, them current seams are perfect for that.
That's exactly right. That's my favorite place.
That's exactly where I was spot locked at, in between on that current seam between the two.
If you don't want to bump, if you want to anchor, that's where you want to anchor.
Yep.
Is in that current seam. Exactly.
It's actually hard to bump where I'm bumping at right below Chickamauga, because there's so many weird, funky eddy currents in there. Like the boat will speed up and then it'll slow down, then it'll speed up and it'll slow down. You'll get hung in the eddy, and when you get hung in the eddy, your bait just keeps going out behind the boat.
But that's because of what's on the bottom there.
Yeah.
And that's okay, because you've done it enough. You know where you're going to be down there. That'd be like me going to Clarksville Dam in Clarksville, Missouri on the Mississippi River. I've been down there so much, although it changes every year. You can go down there in about 30 minutes. You can figure it out from one year to the next.
Yeah.
And I dearly love fishing below dams. That's one of my favorite things of all time.
Yeah, I hope we get some more rain for long before we can get some more flow down here on Chickamauga. They're doing two things right now. We haven't had a lot of rain, and they're trying to get the reservoir full for all the wreck boaters and people that annoy me. That's why I night fish so much.
Yeah. Well, I will mention that Cindy told me last night that out of the last 24 days, it has rained here 16 of the last 24 days.
Oh, wow. Y'all getting all the rain then.
We're getting plenty of it. We're getting more than enough. I'm having to mow every 4 or 5 days now.
Yeah.
So you got a lot of rain last year. Hopefully this year is a little drier so we can get Lyle out of the water some more.
I hope so. Well, last year I had so much trouble with water to gas, but I got that problem fixed, so we're raring to go now.
There you go.
We are raring to go. So what part of Chickamauga, explain where that's at.
Well, Chickamauga is one of the reservoirs on the Tennessee River system. I think Jody's up there around Loudon, Watts Bar area. And then you got Chickamauga, and then below Chickamauga Dam is Nickajack Lake. Of course, it's a river essentially right below Chickamauga Dam, but it's one of the I think there's 15, 16 dams along the Tennessee River. Something like that. But and below Nickajack is Gunnersville. That's where Big Skip and Chad E fishes in Gunnersville, I think. Then you got Wheeler.
Wheeler's above
Wheeler, and then Wilson.
Yeah.
And what's the one right below? The one right below it, I thought, was the one that Big Skip is at a lot. I know he fishes Wheeler, and I can't remember the one.
I'm not sure.
I don't know, but yeah, there's quite a few of them down there.
K&B says Lyle's raring to go to Wheeler with me. We had a trip planned with Pop before he passed away, and COVID hit, and we didn't get to make that. So Kevin and I are going to work this out to where we can meet up down there, and maybe we can get old Doc to go with us. You never know. I know Doc well. He's, I really do know him kind of well. Him and I fished together quite a bit over the years, so maybe we could talk him into going with us, and we get Kevin out there. I would almost bet we could put him on the biggest blue cat he's ever seen.
Yeah, Stonefly 71 said Chat Catfishes down there does it. Yeah, Chat actually he just lives like a quarter of a mile from me. He does, and he was one of the guys I started watching on YouTube too. That kind of inspired me to start my own YouTube channel. Joe's an awesome guy.
He is.
We trade information back and forth, and he's just got a huge following on YouTube and puts great fish in the boat.
I will do that, Skip. Yeah, we've had him on Catfish Weekly. It's been a long time. I probably need to get a hold of Joe again. He's a really nice guy, very knowledgeable.
Absolutely.
And like so many of us, he shares any information. If anybody's got any questions, he'll answer them. He don't pull no bull about it. He just goes on and he just wants to have a good time and help people catch more fish. And that's, let's face it, that's why we started Catfish Weekly in the beginning.
Yeah, and people ask me about a guide on Chickamauga and Nickajack. I always give them, contact Chat Cats. Joe's an awesome guy.
Yeah, he's a really good dude, and he catches a lot of fish.
Absolutely.
He really does.
I don't know if I missed it earlier because every once in a while I get lost in chat while you guys are chatting. But how long have you been bumping now? When did you learn how to bump?
Oh man, I've only been doing it for about maybe 6 months or so.
Oh wow!
I lost a lot of gear, like learning how to do it. But Hagen Grubbs was one of the guys I watched doing it, and then when I started seeing Hagen do it, I just started diving into YouTube and learning everything about bumping I could. I think I probably watched every bumping video on YouTube and seen how guys across the country, different guys are doing it. But probably Hagen was probably, fishing the waters closest to me and, kind of because, it's different bumping here than it is on the Ohio or the Mississippi. And
Absolutely.
It's so much different. The bottoms are so much different.
Yep.
We have a really hard, rocky bottom. And I imagine on the Mississippi, you probably got, more mud. And
there's a lot of mud.
So, yeah, Hagen is a great young man. I enjoy Hagen's videos tremendously. But
the greatest
trial and error.
The greatest bumper that I know, and I know a lot of them, is Jason Mathena. He bumps more fish and bigger fish than anybody I'm aware of. Now, with that being said, Justin Wolf, I give him a bumping rod a few years ago, and he caught a 105-pounder on it down below Alton Dam on the Mississippi River. So, yeah, he caught a giant. Him and a guy from Iowa was fishing together, Matt. And there's been a lot of upper 90s fish caught on rods that I built, and I'm very happy with that. But Mathena, he lives to bump, and he's a big old boy. But he's bumped with everything from 7-foot rods to 10-foot rods. He's a bumping machine. But I tell you, I'm looking forward to a trip one of these days with Mike Greenwell. Him and I have talked about it for several years. We've not ever got it put together. And one of these days, old Mike and I are going to get together. We're going to meet up somewhere. We're going to spend a day just bumping.
Yeah, it's a lot. You get into a rhythm with it, and it's very relaxing to me when you get into a rhythm. I mean, it's kind of stressful. Like when I'm up above the railroad bridge, in between I'm got my head on a swivel. But when I have enough flow to get below there and even further down river, I mean, you get into a rhythm. Like when you know how you hit that sweet spot, boat's moving at a steady rate, and you've got that line out there 150 yards or 100 yards behind the boat, and you hit that sweet spot, and you're feeling every little rock on the bottom. It's really therapeutic, man, when you hit that.
It really is. And when you get out there 300 or 400 feet, which is 100 yards or so, when you raise that tip up, you're only moving the bait 6 inches to a foot at a time. And that's when you're really putting it in front of them fish's nose.
Keeping it in their face.
Because when that's up next to the boat, when you raise that up and let line out, sometimes it's going 3 or 4 feet. You're skipping over some of them fish.
Yeah. Well, you also have, depending on your leader length, when you're picking up that sinker, your leader's probably not coming up a lot. So your bait's just kind of moving up and down like this.
Yep.
So
I have a different type of rig, and Hagen Grubbs told me that I need to tell him how to do that. And I told him when he comes on Catfish Weekly and does a show with us, I will let the world know how I time my rig, because it's a little different than a lot of guys do.
Yeah.
But it's very effective, and it's an old school way of doing it. And I'm old school because, well, let's face it, I'm old.
Do you have your leader on a slider?
What's that, Bob?
I said, do you have your leader on a slider?
No, I used to do it like that. And Jeff Dodd told me one day, said, take that off and throw it away. It can't work right. It's not hooked to the line.
Yeah, a buddy of mine showed me years ago. He uses a funky rig where he's got the sinker in line.
You called him out, Lyle.
I didn't even know he
in the house.
Hey, Hagen, how you doing?
We summoned him up, didn't we?
Summon the great one.
You let me know, Hagen. We'll make it happen, and I'll show you.
Absolutely.
I'll tie one up live on the show and show you how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, I learned a whole bunch from Hagen.
Hagen's a great guy. And him and Landon, even his dad, they're all three really good together.
Yeah.
But Hagen and Landon have a special bond or something. I mean, they're father and son. They got to have a special bond. But I mean, when they're fishing together, they're like Cindy and I. She knows what I'm going to do, and I know what she's going to do pretty much. I know that's hard to understand, but when you fish with somebody as much as Hagen and Landon do, or Cindy and I do, or Chad and Dee do, you kind of figure out what the other one's going to do, and you know what to expect out of them. And they know what to expect out of you. And I got a feeling, now this is just coming off the top of my head, that if Landon keeps running video cameras,
he's good.
He is going to be amazing.
Yeah, I don't think people appreciate just how much Landon, his videography helps.
He does a great job. He really does. He really does. I know that Keith visits with Hagen quite a bit. Oh, man, oh, man. I see that Danny Stone's in chat. We had a great show with him here a while back, so
Danny's a riot.
He is. He's a hoot, man.
Sorry, guys.
I knew it was coming.
Oh, sometimes I just can't help myself.
Nobody's mentioned that today, have they, Chad?
No, I mean, I haven't heard that in forever.
Yes, it's last week. Skip says, I love watching Hagen, his dad, and Landon fish together. I do too. They're a great family, and they're very knowledgeable, and they like to share. They share information with everybody, and that's one thing that Hagen's real good at. And his shows where he was showing us how his live well that he got, and how he fixed his boat up, and trailer problems, and it's all real. There's no stage stuff. He just does it as it comes across the board, and it makes for great shows.
He's got an awesome logo too.
He does have. My.
We don't need to see that. One freaking time.
You can cook your entire life, and nobody will ever call you a chef. You can work on cars since you was a beginner, and nobody call you mechanic, but you run out of gas once. Just one time.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I expected that the person that went fishing with me that day would bring me some boat gas money. So, and they didn't. They just wanted free fishing lessons all day.
Oh, man. Bob, we have a trip coming up to Mendota Lake here in a couple of weeks, where them giant channel cats are at. If you ever get a chance, you should come up there with us sometime.
It's always cold up there.
It won't be too bad in May.
True.
It's going to be epic. It is every time we go up there. It's a blast. We have so much fun, and it's a place where a bunch of good people get together, catch a lot of fish, and have a wonderful time.
How are y'all fishing for them, Lyle? The channel cats? Are you dragging baits?
I mostly fish anchored because I'm fishing in 2 foot of water.
Okay.
It is very difficult to drag baits up there, but we did it last year. Dee and I think we were, one of the only ones that really done it up there. But that is how I did catch a 21-pound, 2-ounce channel cat dragging. And we didn't catch a lot of fish dragging, but we did catch a couple. the people that anchored caught more fish. They were able to catch them coming in at specific locations and stuff, and they really seemed to be able to locate them a little bit easier than dragging. But the problem with dragging is even so, you have Cherokee that runs into Mendota, and when you coming into Mendota, it goes to about what, Lyle, 3.5 to 5 feet, and then it drops off into the lake.
Yeah, and there's some spots up there that's. Oh wow, you got some emojis.
I did get some emojis.
Yeah,
But
I fished in 2 foot of water up there. They're staging up to go on spawn, and the deepest spot I ever found on Cherokee was 8 foot. And I didn't find that last year because people was fishing that area. But when you're in 2 foot of water and one of them big dogs hit, they get up there and tail walk like a bass.
Yeah.
Except they're real dark and they got really long whiskers.
The problem, though,
be shallow around here.
Well, the problem with how shallow it is there is underwater vegetation everywhere. I mean, it's like, I mean, you really got to watch going through, or it wraps you up and you have to shut your motor down and you got to undo it, which happened to several of us last year.
Trolling motors don't get along with it worth a damn.
No, they don't. But even my big motor got wrapped up in it pretty good one time last year. So you got to kind of watch it, because there's a lot of it's 1.5 to 2 feet deep up on Cherokee part of it. So, but it is fun to watch them big old channel cats tail walk across that water.
Hopefully you got a good lake map up there. It works.
It's a lot of fun going up there. It's a blast. Some of the nicest people you ever want to meet. Like I say, there's a group that been going up there since I went up the first time 11, 12 years ago. And Richard Ward is one of them. And Richard's a super nice guy, and he goes up. I think him and his son go up about every year. And
No love.
But we have a great time. We'll cook out a lot, and there's one night when all of us from the campground and the motel, we all get together and have dinner, and it's just a fun time. And if you don't want to get up early, it don't really matter. You catch some fish all day.
Right.
And if you want to get up early, so some of them people are talking about fishing at night. I'm not sure we're going to do that. We might. I'll have to get my lights all put back in. But to tell you the truth, after I fish all day, I want to go to bed.
Yeah, me too.
I get tired.
Especially after we eat what we eat half time up there. We eat pretty well.
Yeah, you need a big chair to lean back in and just kind of zonk.
Do they stock it?
No,
No.
not that I know of. You don't ever catch any little fish. I think we caught 2 last year that was under 10 pounds. I think Katie did. But it's a lot easier to catch a 15-pounder than it is anything under 10 pounds.
Well,
yeah, and even the 20-pounders have like the juvenile spots on them. It's pretty cool to see.
Our channels don't get that big around here. They just don't.
Well, they consider them trash fish up there, and nobody takes them out of the water much.
Yeah.
And that's why they're like that. And you're only allowed so many per person, even if you do keep them. And it's a great fishery. And they go up in the shallow water to spawn, and nobody wants to fight all that vegetation like Chad was talking about.
Yeah.
You go in there after them. Well, hold my beer. I'm going in.
Yep.
That's just the way it is.
But, well, I mean, and they're one of the bigger predators in that lake too. So
Absolutely.
It's not like they're competing against blue cats for meals. So that really helps up their game. Where like places where we fish, if we catch a 10-pound channel cat, that's a big one in the river.
Any blues and flatheads in there?
No blues. I don't think there's any flathead, but I could be wrong.
I don't know about that, but there's no blues up there.
I know there's no blues.
Yeah, and I got to tell you, I'm guessing that all them bluegills in that lake have probably got fans on their butt so they can scat out of the way away from them big old channel cat just fast.
I imagine.
Because they that's what they like.
Yep.
So it's a great time up there, and if you ever get a chance, we'd love to have you up there. It's just a lot of fun.
Yeah, I'd like to do that. That sounds pretty cool.
That's the only. I fished Red River, and I love fishing it. We caught a lot of great fish there, but not the size we catch in Mendota.
Hmm. Yeah, they took a beating up there a few years ago, Ryan says. They used to leave them on the banks and on the ice because they thought they were eating all the perch.
Yeah, that's amazing, isn't it? That's another thing. I know this is Catfish Weekly, but old Lyle's going to go after some perch while he's up there. I got to taste one of them. Just got to. Got to. No flatheads, Ryan says. I didn't think so. Thanks. Fishing outdoors. Welcome.
Yeah, we're actually getting more yellow perch around here. I don't know whether somebody stocked them accidentally, but they're not native to this area. There's a reservoir up in the mountains around Ocoee, Tennessee, like you're going over in North Carolina, that is full of yellow perch. It's actually the reservoir that feeds the Ocoee River, the Whitewater River, and I used to go up there and fish it in a float tube because you can't really get a big boat in there. You can get a little John boat back in there, but my buddy goes up there every spring, and they just take worms and a split shot and drop it to the bottom and catch the mess out of them.
That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, there's no houses along this reservoir, and while I was out there on my little floating pontoon thing, I kept seeing snakes swimming everywhere, and here I am with my legs in the water. That made me kind of nervous.
I would, yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I'm not big on snakes at all.
Yeah, I don't remember no snake.
Well, thank you, Stephanie. This is a hat that I got from one of the suppliers I buy rod building supplies for. They actually I won a new style blank that is an Eglass blank, the same style blank that I used all my boat rods for, but it's carbon wrapped halfway up it, and they are pretty pricey. But I'm telling you right now, I've not ever seen anything that looks any stronger than that. They're not lightweight like I like, but I'm impressed. I haven't got a chance to use it yet, but it's amazing blank. I do have it built, so I'm not sure if I'll bring it up there or not. It's pretty heavy duty for.
We haven't asked, and I did see some stuff earlier, but I would ask that we make sure we give Mr. Lyle, Mr. Bob here some thumbs up. We're so close to hitting the 100 mark for the night.
Thank you, sir.
Greatly appreciate that.
Chad, did you happen to set up the giveaway tool?
You know I did.
Yeah, I do know you did. If anybody's interested, what do you say we give away a couple of prizes tonight? You know, we have some D&L sinker.
I'll be right back, guys.
Okay, thanks, Bob. D&L sinker snake weights to give away.
There we go. Just put in there hashtag snake weight.
There's Sean Abney.
And we'll watch this for a second. Let some folks. It is not case sensitive, so.
Chad, I was at Owensboro, Kentucky, at Monsters on the Ohio a few years ago.
Oh yeah.
We weighed in fish, and I was sitting there videotaping some of the weigh-ins for people. And Sean and his wife come up and visited with me, and that was amazing. They were such great folks, and I've never forgot them. They watch the show a lot, and they're just really cool people. There's Gene Tillman.
You said that was Mr. Sean Abney?
Yep. A really cool guy.
Very nice.
Him and his wife are very nice folks. There's Sandy with Silver Fox Fishing.
What's up, Miss Sandy?
Carolina Catfish.
What's up, David?
Baby Whiskers.
Baby Whiskers. I like that name.
I do too. I think that's a new one. Ray Holler. Holler? I want to get it right. Don't be mad.
But let's see. Yeah, I thought about doing Monsters on the Ohio a few years ago. When the first year I did, after I did the Rising Sun tournament, as I was starting to get into tournaments a little bit more, but I just didn't get into it.
We used to have a great time down there. We used to do live shows at the local bait shop down there with Sheila and them, and had great times. Give away a lot of stuff. Bought our bait there from them, and we just We had a wonderful time. There's Annette Morgan. Welcome. Justin's Fishing Fetish. I hope Gabby's doing well.
There you go. Thank you all for that.
That is awesome. Thank you so much.
Awesome.
And hopefully, I know they were talking about it earlier. Bobcat is getting very close to the 1K
Keep
milestone. So
that is a milestone. There's my lovely wife Cindy joined chat tonight. She's been on.
Hello, Cindy.
I love Mama Stokes.
I love them cinnamon rolls. Of course, they come with her. It's a match. That's where you get the cinnamon rolls.
I think he gets a pan of cinnamon rolls and a tub of butter.
It's been a long time since she fixed them, but they was really good last night. I had to share that picture with you guys.
Did you see Skip's comment, Chad?
Really? What did you now?
Oh man! Wow, that's good. Too good. Oh. Congratulate Bugman22 on his personal best. Channel Cat, congratulations.
That's awesome. I watched that. He was so excited.
I have missed it. I did not see that. Was it posted today?
I would like to congratulate Brad Connell for winning Avid's Channel Cat tournament yesterday. I watched parts of that in and out. He was on them. Really on them.
I don't say. I don't know where he fished at, but that's what we talked about. Like if I was going to do that, there is some really good channel cat lakes in the state of Ohio that I know of.
He was on the lake, big
It looked
lake.
super windy too, wherever he was fishing.
Yeah, it was.
Maybe at St. Mary's.
I don't know where that's at. He was.
He will tell me yes or no.
Bay. He was at Sandusky Bay, I believe, is where they said he was, but the wind was rough.
Now this is getting out of hand.
Yeah, white socks.
My legs are not that white.
Oh,
Sandusky Bay, yeah. Everybody loves Sandusky Bay up there.
I'm finally requesting a tin of cinnamon rolls when we meet up at Willer, please. She got she might get mad at me, but she got requests for cinnamon rolls and potato salad to go up north with, and we was just going to go up in there and pitch in, everybody go to the grocery store and buy up and not take anything, but it'd be like Michelle coming to see somebody and not fixing something, How hard would that be?
Well, we definitely have some amazing cooks in this community.
We do. We had some great meals last year. How many we got in our drawing, Chad?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. I don't know.
What a great co-host.
Well, I was doing good until we started talking about my white legs. We got 45. Let's get some at least 50. Come on. Who wants some
50, we'll draw that.
Who wants some snake weights? I mean snake weights.
All right, I'll get in.
Get in there, Bobcat. Do it.
Chucky Morgan, welcome.
I mean, my legs may be so white that scientists are trying to see if they can match the all-time whiteness of my legs. You've seen they've made like black a color of black that is so dark that it like takes every bit of light to make, it traps it all. Mine's the anti of that. That's how white my legs are.
Stan says Chad deserves a pass this week. His heart is going to be broken this Saturday when No Script whoops up on the bait shop.
Dude, Let me see. Oh man, I can't find it. Oh man, he is so lucky. All I can do is star that message, and I can't find him out.
That's not the one I clicked on. I guess it was. The one that I was looking for is already gone. They're kind of scooting along.
Well, we're starting to get some more people. We're up to 53. We got 99 people hanging out in here with us watching the great Bobcat. We need to fix this. We'll put Bobcat up here in the middle.
The
We will
bait
give this
right.
about 10 more seconds. What do you say? We'll give it.
There you
We'll
go.
give it a 10.
Yeah, we made our 50. So yeah, whenever you're ready, big guy.
All right. Let me go back over here to the giveaway tool. All right. Sounds about like 10. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and go.
Now, folks, we're going to tell you that I'm not sure what color ones you get. Some of these are laid out are orange, some of them are green, some of them are blue, some of them are pink. And I'll just grab one up and put it in the mail to you. Rod Knockers Fishing.
Congratulations.
Congratulations, Rod Knockers.
And this pen don't work. If you'll just message me your shipping address after the show, we'll be glad to ship that right out to you. And let me know who you are and what you won.
The same from space.
Trying to get things. I like that. When it happens.
I heard the whiteness could be seen from space, Chad. From space. Is he a relative of yours? He's not a brother? Okay.
These guys are killing me.
Just
I used to classify several of them as brothers, but
yeah.
starting to question my thought process here.
Somebody mentioned James Dockery in chat. Is James Dockery in chat? James? Chad?
He's standing right behind Chad.
Well, last I heard, I believe that he is in chat, or at least watching, but he's kind of like Mark, and they both got a case of the wussitis, and they don't really chat a whole lot tonight. So I think they're taking care of each other, making each other feel better behind the scenes.
If that is the case, I really feel sorry for Katie to have them both.
I always feel sorry for Katie.
I do too.
So
I'm still trying to get over them emojis you got.
I'm sure I'll get more. It's okay.
I guarantee it.
It sucks when I'm the favorite, so it doesn't matter. So Bobcat,
Rob says Brad said he never caught that many big channels before fishing ever. That's awesome, man.
No doubt.
Hey, there's BOR Fishing.
what's up, Boar?
All right. Welcome, Mark. What was you going to say, Chad?
No, I was going to just ask Bobcat. So, what are you working on? Where do you see yourself? Where are you going with your channel and all that? I know you're busy right now with your other stuff, but
I was going to keep doing what I do. I was actually having a conversation today and thinking about changing things up a little bit on how I release videos. And, if you look at the analytics on YouTube and whatnot, you'll see, how often people are watching your videos and looking at them. I've been thinking about putting out more videos, just making shorter ones and breaking a fishing trip up into, 3 or 4 videos.
Yeah.
Actually. So it's more because people have attention spans like that. So if you put a 20, 30-minute video, chances are most people aren't going to watch the whole thing. So I was actually talking to Real Beast today. We were having a phone conversation about it. And it might be something in the future I'm going to start doing because I spend so much time editing. I mean, it takes me a full week to edit a video that's 15, 20 minutes long. So I don't know. It's just something that's been on my mind, thinking about doing it lately. But I've got plenty of backlog content right now. I'm about probably 5 fishing trips behind.
Oh, wow. Yeah, you might want to.
Yeah, I think this
break
week.
it up a little bit.
I think this week I'm going to put out
my bad.
What's that?
Unless you delete it, it never goes bad.
That is very true.
No, it's all in the computer sitting there waiting on
you. And I think even when you're looking at the time and you do have a valid point, that's why I think a lot of people have really found some things going on with like TikTok and trying to figure out the shorts part of YouTube, which I still don't understand the shorts part, but whatever. But it's about the quality, right? I mean, it's putting something together that's quality, and consistency is good.
Yeah.
But that quality is what you really got to want to focus on, I think, too. just from the great people that I've talked to, quality is definitely something that you really try to kind of keep in mind and putting out the best that you can and continue to learn from it. But
well, that's what I've tried to do. My entire channel is,
yeah,
I'll spend hours like reviewing and editing a video and keep going back and making changes. And what most people don't realize is I might upload a video to YouTube 4 times and watch it on the big screen and just like, oh, I'm not happy with that little bit right there, and go back to the editing computer and tweak it. And that's what it takes so long, is just, keeping going back and forth.
I'll be honest. Before I lost all my stuff on my phone, because I lost all of my photos and videos that was on my phone when I dropped it in. Luckily, some of it is, backed up on my computer and stuff. But we'd go out and we'd catch a couple fish, and I'd be trying to sit and play with it and see what I could do with it. I'd be like, I can't do this. The angle sucked. I don't want to put this out. It'll be like crap.
Yeah, it's difficult, and especially like when you have a windy day or something. Like I've got one bumping trip with me and Anthony from Yak Shore Outdoors that we caught some really nice fish. But I told him, I said, the audio is just hot garbage. I mean, I think I'm going to title it "Bumping in the Hurricane."
Bump it like a hurricane.
I mean, we caught some really nice fish. I'm going to have to do probably some voiceovers and whatnot.
That's what I was getting ready to say, voiceovers.
I think voiceovers are a great tool on windy days.
Yeah.
I really do.
That was the windiest that I have ever fished at. I mean, literally the wind was blowing so hard back upstream that it was raining sideways across the water because the wind was knocking the tops of the waves off. It was the craziest thing I've ever seen. But we were catching fish, so I didn't want to stop. I did about 5 miles an hour all the way back to the boat ramp.
Oh, wow. Is that on account of the rollers?
Yes. The wind was coming dead upstream, so it was building those waves, and we had a pretty good flow that day. So I just stayed far enough away from the bank that I know I could swim if the boat sank, and did about 5 miles an hour.
Well, you know what? It's better to be safe than sorry anytime. And I got to tell you, when you get 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 foot rollers on a lake or any body of water for that, but the best thing you do is get as close as you dare to the bank in case something does happen.
Yeah.
So you got a shot at getting in, and wear your PFD.
Oh, absolutely. I had mine on, and I was doing a lot of praying on the way back, and stayed within eye shot of the bank, and I just took it easy. And if I was quartering the waves. You know how to handle a boat. It's not difficult to do, but it still is sketchy.
Oh, yeah.
Welcome, Dennis. Glad to see you in chat tonight. Dennis says, I have to be in the right mood to edit also. I have found that if I'm in a mood to do it, I get on it. When I'm it doesn't even try to do any editing, or it will turn out meh for sure.
Oh, yeah.
I got that.
I tell my wife.
Editing is something you either really enjoy doing or you really don't. And I have times when I think, I don't mind doing it. And the next time I'll start in on it, and I just can't stand to do it. I hate it.
When I first started doing it, I was like, I hate editing. This is stupid. I'm like, I don't understand how these guys are doing what they're doing. And every once in a while, once you find something that works for you, like an app or whatever, and you start finding different little hidden treasures of how you can transition from one piece of video to another and do different stuff, that's when it started getting interesting to me. Then I started thinking, now I just got to catch some freaking fish on camera. But I started thinking about it more like, what can I do and how can I produce this in my head and make it come out good?
Well,
just trying to find different things.
A lot of the editing you learn too. A lot of editing happens on the boat, like while you're filming. You kind of start thinking about ways to frame a shot, and you make sure your camera's in the right place and where to cut it. And I loop when I record video, so I'm always trying to cut it off in a spot that makes sense to end that bit of footage. So your editing really starts while you're fishing. So you're
Yes.
eliminating a lot of footage. You're not like guys tell me all the time because they don't want to risk losing footage that they just turn their cameras on and leave it running the whole time. It would drive me absolutely insane to have to sit and watch 8 hours of footage. I'd lose my mind. I couldn't do it.
I couldn't either. And for people that don't loop, if you'll just turn your camera on and off, it'll start recording over at that spot, so you don't have to go through all that old dead video.
Yeah.
And as soon as you catch a fish or do something that you want to include in your video, then shut it off and turn it back on, to go to watch the end of that segment, and you'll get the part that you want. The rest of it you can discard.
Yeah.
Yeah. When you get to when you're sorting through your files, I've tried to explain this to people when you're looping. I shoot in a 20-minute loop cycle. So the last bit of footage will be, you'll have like 3 files that are 1.4 gigs. And then your last file will be like 534 megabytes or whatever. Well, that's where the action, where you stop the camera. It's like, okay, that's where I let that fish go, or I caught that fish and I showed him to the camera. So it eliminates a lot of sorting through footage, because all you got to do is look for that short file size, and that's where that footage ended at. So, I mean, that's why I find it extremely useful, is because it's like a marker, and I know what happened there.
What kind of cameras do you use, Bob?
I use 3 GoPro Hero 7s, and I never shoot with more than 2. I just have a third one as a backup. And I actually use a video software called Movavi. It's kind of like, it's a lot like iMovie, but I like it better than iMovie. It's just a little bit more intuitive for me. And I don't use a real professional, I don't use Adobe Premiere or nothing like that.
I can't understand that.
Yeah, there's too convoluted.
It's beyond me. Yeah. Matt says, what's some good editing software? Well, he just give you the link to his. What I use is called Video Pad Editor, and it's very easy to operate for layman's, which I am at editing video, and it's got a lot of good stuff to it. If you get the paid version, it has even more. But it's easy to learn on, and I've got the stuff that I've got 2 other. I've got a Sony program, and I've got one that one of the companies come up with their own stuff here a while back, and they work okay. But I like that one the best, and it's easy to operate.
Yeah, Mark's a Movavi user. It's very easy software to use.
Yeah, hey, I'm all about easy.
And there's all kinds of different stuff that you can use. I mean, there's a lot of people that do strictly off of their cell phones. That's pretty much every video that I've ever done has been off of my cell phone.
Yeah, I mean, iPhones come loaded with I think you got iMovie on your cell phone.
iMovie. I use one called UCut. There's tons of different ones out there, but if you're going to use like desktop, Canva, a lot of people are using that for thumbnails, but there's also a lot of other things you can do on Canva. There's what's the one?
Monkey Pick. Is that
DaVinci, DaVinci Resolve, one for the computer. That's supposedly a very good one. I think Dan from Green Machine uses that one.
Mm-hmm. Thor uses Wondershare. That's Wondershare, real similar to Movavi.
I've heard about that. I haven't checked it out, but I see no reason to confuse myself. I've got the one that I'm doing sort of figured out, so I think I better stick with what I got.
Yeah, that's the thing. When you learn a certain program, you're better because I did try switching to another video, and it was like, oh, that's too convoluted. I'm just gonna do what I do. That's the way with
me. I got that Sony, and I don't know, it's 18 or 20 or 25 or whatever it is. I've had it for a while. And after using the other's too much simpler for me to operate. And I'm not doing it like a lot of people are to make for perfection. I just do it to suit me. And if people don't like it, then they don't have to watch. They'll make a damn one way or the other. I could care less. But it's easy for me to operate, and I'm too old to learn a bunch of complicated stuff.
Yeah.
Right, Chad?
Never too old, my friend.
Squirrel, it's not more like Movavi has a feature in it where it automatically syncs the audio for you. You select 2 clips and you sync them. And what I like to do is I'll have one camera looping like in the front of the boat, and then I'll wear a camera or have another camera close to me, and I'll turn that camera off and on. So as I'm editing, I'll drop in my wide angle footage. That's, the whole boat. I'll use that as my baseline, and then I'll have my other clips of my secondary camera in there, and I'll drop those in another video timeline above it and kind of get them in about the right spot. And then I grab the 2 clips and I'll click the synchronization tab, and it'll synchronize the 2 clips. And then I'll move on to the next. So I have my baseline video on my timeline, and then I will drop in my secondary video from my chest cam or whatever it is as I'm editing along, and kind of adding in that second, track of video as I'm going.
And it syncs the audio as you go.
Well, you can click two clips, 2 different clips that were happening at the same time, and select the 2 clips and click synchronize, and it'll automatically sync up the 2 video files as long as the audio quality on both clips is good. If it's bad, it won't work.
I see.
And another thing I do, this is a tip for all you aspiring YouTubers, start making a longer video or whatever, is when you're organizing your files after you've downloaded all your files to your computer, I go through each and every file and I change the file name from YouTube. GoPro footage has these weird, long, stupid letter number files. It just automatically gives it that file name. What I do is I change the file name to the timestamp. So I make sure both of my cameras have the same time and date and everything. And then the first part of each file, I change it to whatever time the timestamp is. Like if I filmed at 8:50 p.m., I'll change the name of the file to 8.50, and then whatever happened in that clip, 8.50 takedown, and then like 9.00 lands fish, and that way when you're adding footage into your timeline, it's real easy to organize it by the time.
Wow, that's a great idea.
Yeah. So all you do is just on a Mac, you right click the file name and you click change file name, and then whatever the timestamp is on it, the first part of the file name, I make it 9.50 or 9.55, whatever. So when you got video track from 2 different cameras, like in that folder, I'll have like March 29th, and I'll have bow cam. I have two files in there, bow cam and chest cam. Well, all the files from bow cam go in the bow cam folder. Then I'll go down through there and I'll change the timestamp to the first part of the file name. And then the second, like chest cam footage, I'll do the same thing for it. So as I'm pulling files into my video editor, the timestamp tells me where that file needs to go.
Two Stands Fishing says editing is extremely easy. I just say, Stand 3, did you put our footage together yet?
Yeah, it'd be great to have an editor. It sure would.
That's what kids are for, man.
Yeah, no doubt.
Daniel Hayes, welcome. He says, what software do you use to make your logos?
I'm a graphic artist by trade, so the 2 programs I use are Adobe Illustrator and Adobe Photoshop. That's the 2 programs I use exclusively.
And I use Canva and Monkey Pick because they're easy. What do you use, Chadwick?
For my editing?
For logos.
For logos, I ask other people to make them for me.
What's that?
My thumbnails, I used to use YouTube thumbnail maker, but I have switched to Canva. Canva
they do a lot. It can do a lot. Tons
Yeah,
of
but
pictures
I
very
I
easy.
use it in correlation with another app called Polish.
Never heard of
So
that. That's a
yeah,
good-
there's some things that I can do there and then switch it over, but I'm primarily just using Canva now.
yeah. Canvas, it does. It's got a lot of tricks to it.
There is, and
Monkey
there's
Grip was
features.
real easy to use. I liked it because it was easy to use.
Well, there's features that I can use on some apps that are free, to where I can then transfer them over to where only in the paid version of Canva can you do some things. So Canva has a ton of free stuff, a lot of great fonts and different stuff like that I don't have on the other. So it's kind of a trade-off.
So,
I pencil a choreograph as I go through the footage and only folder footage with usable footage from the loops. I think I'll do a video on the process. That's a great idea, Mark.
yeah, I do the same thing as I'm looking to reviewing the footage. If there's nothing happening there, it goes straight to the trash. That way, it eliminates footage that you don't want to include. And then sometimes I'll see something, I go, "Oh, that might make some cool B-roll," and I'll save it, as something, and maybe
That's
use
something
it.
I'd like to touch on for a second, if you wouldn't mind, Bob, before we go, is B-roll.
Mm-hmm.
People forget how important B-roll is when they're doing video work.
Yeah.
Because you can't always be catching fish, or
Yeah.
you've got to have boat rides or loads and unloads of your boat, or somebody talking at the bank, or meeting and talking with somebody, or casting. You need stuff besides just catching fish to
Well,
make it interesting.
here's how I look at B-roll. Like when you're making a production video, you're always trying to tell a story. And to me, the B-roll helps stitch it all together.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, okay, we're fishing, but there's other things that are going on too. So like you said, the boat ride, putting the trailer in the water. So, all the B-roll kind of is like the glue that helps bond the story together, because you're trying to tell a story is essentially what you're doing.
Right.
To me. So it just makes sense to
well, and that's a great analogy. Telling the story is something that people forget about, because we're guys that go out and catch fish.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Well, you got to make a story out of your fishing trip to make it entertaining, so people will watch it.
And this is something I want to work on.
Thank you, Just Outdoors.
Exactly what you're saying, though. Like those are filler parts but you really need to be able to tell a story to where they feel like they're there with you. If you go out there and you put literally the 5 second or 20 seconds or 3 minute clips of each fish you catch, and that's it, they want to see the adventure part of it too, I think. So just being able to make them feel there with you is something, and that's something I really want to try to figure out how to make better, because I think I lack there. So
128. If I was just filming straight and not looping, I'd probably be using a 256. But if you're looping, you don't use as much space on your SD card. That's another great reason to use to loop.
Welcome, Tall Betty. But you can't use those big cards on the old cameras. Is that correct?
I don't know what the limitation is. I know the 7s will take 256.
There's a lot of people that still got 3s and 4s and 5s.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you can use anything bigger than a 32 or a 64. I'm not sure. I don't think they write fast enough.
I know Daryl's using 256 and some Hero 3 Pluses. So.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know he uses a big card.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. Maybe before the 3 Plus, 3 or 3 Plus.
Because I've got 3 of the older ones, and I'm not throwing them away. I just not going to. It's not that I won't add on to them.
I think the most reliable GoPro I ever had was the 3 Plus.
Yeah.
And the only reason I actually swapped Daryl something for it, we're all the time horse trading back and forth. But the only reason I got rid of the 3 Plus was because I had so much trouble getting the video from the 7 to look like the video from the 3 Plus, because every time GoPro introduces a new camera, the color is different on it. So if you're shooting from a 3 Plus at one angle and a 7 from another, your color grading is way different. I was having to color grade the crap out of the 3 Plus video to get it to kind of match the video from the 7. That's why I'm using all 7s now, because I'm such a perfectionist that the color bothered me. I just couldn't tolerate the duller footage from the 3 Plus.
Thank you, Stan. Appreciate that very much. We're running on about just over an hour and a half, Bob. We have talked about a lot of subjects, and we have touched on a lot of things that maybe we should touch on a little more often, because I believe people are really enjoying this type of stuff that we're talking about. I have a program coming up, and I'll visit with you afterwards that I think you might be interested in doing with me and Chad.
Okay.
I didn't intend for it to go off on this much editing stuff, but I can tell from the chat that a lot of people are interested in this, and we done a show about that some time back, and we're getting ready to do another one. So, Chad, what do you got for closing? We got another giveaway.
Are we gonna do it again?
Oh yeah.
Well, we're gonna have to talk, because we need to. Okay. We're gonna have to. Let me get this up back up. Oh my goodness. We're gonna do this different now.
I've been so involved in what Bob was talking about, I completely forgot about it.
I get excited too.
Really?
So we're gonna fill in at least a few more minutes. Let me share this, Mr. Lyle, because I've refreshed it so we can get the people that are in here now.
And we will give away another D&L Sinker 2-ounce snake weight set. There's 2 up to a package.
But no, why are we letting some folks get their names in the hat here for the drawing? No, really, for me is, this is part of it, and I had mentioned this a while back, and Kevin had did a live feed, and there's a lot of stuff out there for. I'm going to stop sharing just because this is weird. There we go. There's a lot of stuff out there that you can go and watch that's not catfish related or fishing related when it comes to editing.
Mm-hmm.
And I can see not wanting to put a lot of the editing type stuff on your channel, because it can mess with your, algorithms and all that kind of stuff. But I think to better our community and what we do, to share that knowledge and kind of give each other some tips and tricks to say, hey, quit just being flat with this, add some excitement, add some entertainment, add some of this, some different perspectives. I think it's great talks. So I think these kind of conversations do need to happen occasionally, maybe not all the time, right? So
right. I agree. And we'll talk about that after the show. Well, we got Pontoon Jody says, Bob, you're up to 964 now.
Awesome. Thank you, guys.
Very awesome.
Just below that post, what is that, Lewis? Lewis, I'm not going to say your last name in fear of I'll butcher it, but thanks for joining us tonight in the show and being in our chat and getting in on our giveaway.
I'll try it. Avena.
Okay, that works.
Because you know me, I like to try to butcher stuff.
Well, we're glad to have him in here.
Yeah, just like Mark Prishavish.
How'd you do that? What was that?
Mark Prishavish. Prishavish. How did I say? Prishavish.
I can't do it.
Prishavish. We'll give this one just a couple minutes. We're already up to 46. # weights if you're interested in getting in on those. I'm seeing Daryl from Trophy Seekers is telling me to hush my potty mouth, saying that there is nothing else besides fishing and hunting.
Well, that's Matt from Want to Be Outdoors, ain't it?
Oh, that was one of them. No, I seen the logo. You're right. It is Matt from Want to Be Outdoors. I mean, they kind of look like they're both big and ugly, got big heads.
True.
Neither one of them can fit worth a lick. So,
Your brother Mark says, Chad, remember, I'm the host on
oh
Saturday.
yeah, I already know you're the tournament dictator. You're gonna
Talk
freaking
about
make
that
it.
just a little bit here, Chad, before we do this drawing about what's coming up Saturday again.
All right, you want to go ahead and let them know? Go ahead.
No,
What's Saturday?
everyone knows about it, not me.
I know about it. Apparently, there's these guys that have this talk show called No Class, or what was it called? No Script. My apologies. And they have challenged the bait shop. So it'll be Has Life, Brian B, and Two Stands versus Chad and D, Freddie, and our super special guest that I will not reveal tonight.
Okay.
They know, but nobody else knows unless somebody else told them. So,
I thought it was pronounced Team No Fish.
or no bait.
Oh,
If we tie, we're joining forces, and we're going to be Team No Bait. So, I don't know. They've been working on the rules and all that. And I just said, let me know when to show up, and so I can whoop up on you all, and we'll go from there. So that'll be Saturday, this Saturday the 30th, 6 p.m. Eastern. That's 6 p.m. God's time. So make sure you all are. We're going to be on Has Life channel, I believe.
That'll be fun
for that one. So
that'll be real fun. Welcome, Van. Glad to see you in chat tonight. It's always a pleasure to have you in there. And there's my little buddy fishing with Robbie.
Hey, Robbie. Oh, and we will have Mark as the tournament dictator, helping us keep up with things.
Kelly, I have them in increments of 10 from 10 through 90 in white or black.
oh man.
One of these days you're going to have that hundo, because I want one, and I'm still on the search, and I'm going to get it.
If you catch one, I'll have
am going to. That will happen before they bury me.
I'm going to buy a new boat. I'm out of room for stickers.
I think I had a package started for you, and I was out of something. I don't remember, but I've got them in, I believe now.
Come on, ladies and gentlemen. We're at 51. We've got 86 in here. Does the other 35 not want in on the drawing for weights?
I don't want weights.
These are drifting weights, dragging weights, whatever you want to call them. Get them in there.
Betty says her 80-pound sticker shines proudly on the right in the center of the windshield.
That is an awesome accomplishment right there.
That is.
It is. Yes, it is.
My daughter has one. I don't.
Matt, you're my new favorite.
What was that?
I said Matt is my new favorite. Sorry. I seen this comment.
Team Pete P the Bed.
Team Bait Shop versus Team P the Bed.
Oh, my.
All right, we're getting ready to spin this. We're going to get it right here at 9:45 on the dot. We will hit spin whether you are in or out.
Let's get up there what he's got and see what Carolina Britt Tennessee Trophy Fish Award. 60 inches. Nice.
That's a big fish.
Long fish. That's 5 foot long.
That's my daughter's PB.
Wow.
18 years old.
Yeah, that's a giant. No doubt about it.
That kind of ignited my passion for big trophy catfishing.
Heck yeah.
Well,
Catching that fish.
Here we go.
Your shipping address, and I'll get you one out.
Oh. See a couple more coming in there. We got 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You snoozed, you lose.
205 Wild Action. Welcome,
Philip Williams.
Philip.
Congratulations. Message me your shipping address after the show, and I will get these out to you. I want to thank everybody for watching the show tonight. We appreciate it so much. We had a great crowd in chat. We had a great guest.
Thank you.
Bob, I can't thank you enough for joining us and being in here. I can't believe we haven't had you on here before now, but the knowledge that you shared tonight with so many questions that was being asked is very much appreciated. And hang tight after the show. I want to tell you about the project that I'm working on. Chad, do you have any other things that you'd like to talk about before we get out of here?
I do not. I just want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight, and make sure you tune in this weekend, because I think we're going to have a lot of fun watching no class versus the bait. I mean, no script versus the bait shop. Sorry, I seen Has Life and
Just got in here.
no, I'm looking forward to having fun with those guys this weekend.
Absolutely. Be sure to tune in Thursday night as Chad will have the bait shop on, and then Panfish Nation will be after that. I try to do this every week, and I always forget a bunch of people. I know that Roger's on Tuesday and Stan's on Friday, I think. I don't remember. Avid's on Sunday. Don't know
James
who's
on Wednesday.
Who? James
on Wednesday.
James is on Wednesday.
Catfish and TV Guide.
That's
Yeah,
what
we always do. Well,
I
somebody tried to make one of them at one time, but it changes every once in a while. And
I have a calendar on Catfish Weekly's website where we could go in there and you could just go to the calendar and see who's on what whenever. Cool. All you got to do is send me the information and we'll get it all uploaded. And then anybody wants to could go in there to that calendar and see who's on what day. And we could do it for years at a time. It's just sitting there idle, not doing anything. So if you guys are interested in doing that, send me your information. We'll put it up there and see how it works. Other than that, it's been a great show. I want to thank Bob again. Yes, sir.
One more thing, just so you know, I may or may not be on my own show Thursday night. I got to talk with Freddie. I am flying out Wednesday morning, going to Texas, and flying home Friday. So I have a lot of stuff I'm going to be doing with work, and hopefully I will be able to break away during it. But if not, I might let Freddie have the show for the night. He can just sit there and
talk about.
Yeah, I do have a job. Yes.
I had no idea. Congratulations.
Yeah, so, thank you, buddy. 21 years. I mean,
Freddie will be just fine, and if he needs anything, he can. There's 3 or 4 of us that would gladly help him out.
Let you take it over.
I said you're skipping town.
Yeah,
we'll see what happens, but yeah.
You owe somebody money?
Just my wife.
Oh,
and a lot of other bill collectors.
I issue boats and humongous depth finders and all kinds of cool stuff.
32-inch depth finder.
Yeah, that's right. Bob, thanks again for joining us tonight. Thanks, everybody, for joining the show tonight. We'll
Appreciate
be back
you guys.
next Monday at 7 p.m. Thanks for watching Catfish Weekly.